Έφυγε ο Ζαχαράκης με το κεφάλι σκεφτό, γιατί τέτοιο πράγμα ήταν αδύνατο να γίνει. Ούτε το πιο δυνατό παλικάρι δεν θα μπορούσε να τα καταφέρει. Όχι ο Ζαχαράκης, που ήταν ζαχαρένιος. Αλλά εκείνη η Marianne θυμήθηκε το μυρμηγκό.
My name is Mayo. I came from Barcelona and I am an activist researcher. My main task here in the ESF in Athens is to organize the memory of this forum. I am part of a working group that depends of the European Preparatory Assembly. That it's a working group that take care of the systematization of the knowledge that this event produce.
My name is Richard Queskin. I'm one of the members of a Linux user group here, which we call Helog, which means Greek Linux user group. And we were asked to set up computers in the media center that we are in now, so that journalists, when they needed to send off some things, that they could come here and do that.
In this working commission, we are around 15 people active. I am responsible of two projects. One project is to build a yearbook on social movements in Europe. This yearbook is a wiki system in which we dynamize surveys on several issues. The other project is a library of social transformation. If you have an article, you can upload and put it in the library, and you can also download a lot of materials that you could be interested on.
I'm neither a trade union member or a political party member, but I'm just one of those people who's interested. So as a committee member, we were taking decisions, what equipment we would need and how much money we should ask from the European Social Forum, and so on. The computers that we brought, we were already given those computers. There were donations from companies that had renewed their equipment and they didn't need the older ones. We were able to take an older machine and to run very new software on it.
The other relation that I have with the forums is that I have been very active in organizing autonomous spaces, because politically I feel more affinity with these kinds of participations of the forum. We call it the strategy of one foot in, one foot out. We don't feel very comfortable in the way the social forums generally are organized, but it's not that just that we don't feel comfortable, it's also that it requires to go to the European assemblies, that there are every 2 months, so you have to do an European travel and these kind of things, and there are some sectors that cannot do that because they don't have the resources to do it. So we organize more in the last moment and with other dynamics, so we feel more comfortable in other kind of spaces. So the autonomous spaces are part of the forum, but have some autonomy on the organization.
Well, we're here usually from about 9:30 in the morning, some of the people who come, and then maybe the last ones are leaving at about 10:30 or 11 at night. I've been here for some of the days for almost all of those hours, not quite all of them, and others have come for shorter times because they're working. Now the weekend, so hopefully some of the people who were working will be able to come more. Things like that, so everybody is sharing whatever they can do.
The autonomous spaces were especially rich in the London ESF. They were really very good experience because also inside the ESF of London there were some conflicts between the horizontal and the vertical, so a lot of people feel the need to...
What do you mean by horizontal and vertical?
Horizontal and vertical is two models of organization in which one feels more comfortable with delegation and the other one, the horizontals, feel more the need of an assemblearian dynamic.
I've been involved with mathematics and computers most of my life, and a family person, but we've done a little bit of left-wing things over the years. We've been on some marches, we've participated in some other sorts of conventions, but not in the way that I'm doing here, but just as a member, you know, as somebody who would go and see things. But other than that, I would say my personal political background is very small.
We wanted to do a memory of the ESF in London, but it was very difficult because we asked them to, for instance, to have the database of organizations subscribed to the London ESF, and they didn't want to give us because they don't have like the culture of sharing and the culture of contamination. They were with more like a bureaucrat thinking, say, no, we have to be efficient, we have to do this event for London, but they were not, the people organizing it, they were not like inside the political process that is the ESF, so it crashed. This time I'm not involved in organizing autonomous spaces because I am very much focused on this working group of systematization of the knowledge, and also because the Greek organizing committee are more inclusive, so some problematics that were more present in the London ESF were not as difficult in this case, so I didn't feel the need.
We do help people communicate political ideas. However, we do that in as neutral a way as possible, meaning that we don't necessarily agree with any of the ideas that are being said or communicated, but it is also, I believe, a political statement to say that everybody has a right to communicate their ideas and to be understood, no matter how much we agree or disagree with these ideas.
I think it gives us a lot of humility too, because we get to know what it means to work together with other people and having a specific role to play while not imposing our ideas. Even though we have some specific ideas, we manage to say what we think without hurting others, without actually imposing. And we learn a lot from the ones we work with, basically. And not mentioning the fact that this is also a very good training for us as interpreters, because we get to work a lot in different types of situations, different vocabularies. So it is just the best we can wish for, basically.
I think it's a general tendency to think that when one has done a lot of work, one deserves to have more of a say. However, there are some people inside who disagree fundamentally with this. I know in other movements, people who disagree with it tend to be excluded. In BABELS, they're not excluded. Even though some people are frustrated because they have done a lot of work and it may be questioned, justly or unjustly, but it is still possible to have the debate. And I think that shows pretty much that since we are here to help people communicate, we also help ourselves communicate. It's also a nice feeling from what I've seen that newcomers feel that they do have a say. And in my experience, generally in other political movements or in other movements, when newcomers arrive, they are told this is how things always worked. And here, even the new people can ask ideas, make suggestions, and so on and so forth.
And have you been enjoying it so far?
I'm going to go there in 1 month.
Oh, really?
Yes, to visit a friend. Yes.
That's great.
And anywhere you want.
Okay, it has to be here. Where? Here?
Down there or?
No, there I can
Yeah, it's very kind of hard.
Okay.
Oh, very nice.
Okay.
Perfect. And then picture.
Okay.
Okay, Savannah, thank you so much.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.
The ESF is organized through the European assemblies, but the European assemblies happen every 2 months. So on the ground you have Greek people doing the job. So all these committees I'm talking about, they're all Greek. On the organizing committee, I wasn't able to spend a lot of time, but I am one of the persons that I followed the process of the European Social Forum from the beginning, of 2002. So the basic thing I do is to coordinate with foreign delegations and solving problems, everyday problems here in the ESF. And generally speaking, I do a lot of traveling to the EPA meetings and going to other countries, meeting different groups and networks. I'm a doctor, I'm a psychiatrist, so I can, usually I can afford my expenses. So sometimes I get some money, sometimes I don't. I never belonged to a party, and I don't think it's probably I've never belonged to a party. But my network is it's a political activity for me. It is a severe political activity for me. In the beginning, they tried to make a balance of power inside the way it will be, inside the organizing committee. These people were delegated from their networks or the political parties, but they didn't really work for their political parties or for the networks, and a lot of times they clashed with the parties or the networks that delegated them. They felt a kind of loyalty to the event, and that makes them a little bureaucratic, because they worked in a way that other people could not understand, could not really help, could not even control them what was happening. The good thing is that these people were radical, and they were people that we could trust, even if we didn't understand what they're doing, or sometimes we disagreed. Because when you disagree with this kind of people, he says, okay, you come and do the job, but you can't do the job because you don't have enough time, or you don't know how to do the job. So this is one thing that I think happens in all the European social forums. You build a small kind of bureaucracy. But they didn't really feel as individuals. They felt that there was, they had a task, they had to organize the fourth social forum. So whatever they did, they felt they were doing it for that. And that's true, they made it. And for a while, it was like there was a small, they were a little autonomous. You know, they didn't give an account generally to the networks of the political parties, because when you have a huge organizing problems, these people that work on 12 hours a day, they have a kind of speed that nobody, if I don't work 12 hours a day, I cannot understand how the problems have been solved or how things have changed. So you have 10 specialists that know how to solve the problem or know the total problem or icon of what's happening.
I think the first is better than the second then.